Hey everybody, welcome to Prairie Street Prime Culinary Kitchen. I'm Chef Randy. Prairie Street Prime is your premier kosher meat experience. Today we are going to be talking about skirt steak. Prairie Street Prime only uses outside skirts. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a simple preparation, quick, so we need to have all of our mise en place, which mise en place means we have everything in its place. So everything that we need for this grilling experience is right at our disposal right here. So our skirt steaks, we are just going to simply season these with salt and pepper. And the reason why we want to do that is because we just want the meat to shine, and the meat is the star. So we're using kosher salt. We like kosher salt because it's got a nice clean flavor as opposed to iodized salt. Iodized salt can tend to be a little bit too extreme salty. So I get both sides. We always want to season both sides. You can see this is extremely thin pieces of meat, and they're going to cook extremely fast. So we need to have a hot grill. We're going to be using direct cooking, which means everything we do is going to go directly right over the fire. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to clean our grill. I've had our grill on high for about 10-15 minutes. Open it up, and I'm just going to make sure the whole thing is brushed clean. And the reason we want to do that is the food's not going to stick with a hot, clean grill. All right. So now we take our skirt steaks. I'm just going to lay these on a 45-degree angle. You can hear the sizzle, you can see the smoke. What's happening is that surface is caramelizing. Maillard reaction. It's just creating a wonderful crispy crust, lots of flavor. It's the sugars in the meat that are just caramelizing. All right, time to check our skirt steaks. You can see the meat is starting to tighten up a little bit, which is what we want, which means we're getting lots of caramelization. So to get our cross hatch marks, we go 45 the other direction. We can see this is starting to cook quickly because the juices are starting to pop up under the top. It's kind of like making a pancake. The little bubbles come up to the top. The juices are coming up to the top, telling us that we're starting to get near ready to flip it onto the other side. It's time to flip our skirt steaks. It's beautiful. We can see it's starting to caramelize along the edge. Got a beautiful, nice brown crust. These take just probably about 2-3 minutes aside for medium rare, and we're going to close that up. All right, we got one more flip. Going to go this way. One more time. Now, as I can tell, as you touch it, we're looking for a nice little bounce back. I also like to take the temperature. We're looking for 125. We are right at 125. We're going to take these off the grill. All right. We're going to let these rest. So for the next component, we are going to make a chimichurri. And the chimichurri is basically kind of like a salsa. It's an herb salsa. It's really floral, acidic. So what we have here is we have some fresh chopped garlic, fresh chopped shallots, equal parts. I have some fresh parsley, fresh cilantro, fresh oregano, and I have a little bit of crushed red pepper. I like to have a little heat to it, a little bit of olive oil, and then a little bit of fresh lime juice. And we just mix this up. It's kind of like a chunky herb relish. If it needs a little bit more olive oil, you can put that in, which this does. We just want to bind the herbs and the garlic and the shallots. Then we need a little bit of salt, a little bit of fresh ground pepper. And this is great on any type of grilled meat. Just let that sit, room temp. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is we've got these beautiful cherry tomatoes on the vine. I like to just blister these on the grill, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. And these literally we put on the grill 30 seconds, right on direct heat. I just pick the whole vine up, put it right on the grill. And all I'm really looking to do is I just want to char it a little bit, warm them up. When you warm up the tomatoes, it really brings out a lot of the sugars and a lot of the wonderful flavors. And while those are cooking, it gives our skirt steaks a chance to rest. And the reason why we want to let the skirt steak rest is because the meat is super hot, the juices are going really fast, and as they rest, the juices slow down, they stay in the meat, and that's what we want. We want the meat to be nice and juicy. So the cherry tomatoes are probably done. I want to try to keep them all on the vine. If I try to grab them like that, they're just barely warmed through, but the bottom is caramelized. Just like that. See how the bottom is just slightly blistered? When you break these open into the meat, it's just a nice garnish. It's time to slice our skirt steak. It's been resting for about 5 minutes. Reason we like to have it rest so all the juices stay inside. Now, skirt steak. If you look at the skirt steak, you can see that all the grain runs this way, from this side to this side. If we cut it like this, we're not going to have a great experience. It's going to be a little bit tough. So what I like to do is I'll cut this into sections this way, and then I come back and I cut against the grain. You hear that a lot of times, cutting it against the grain. What that's going to do, it's going to make a nice tender eating experience. When we look inside there, we got a beautiful medium rare to medium, which is nice because there's a lot of fat inside of a skirt steak. You can break down the fat and all the tendons, and it really just becomes wonderful. A lot of times too, if I'm carving something like this, I like to leave one larger piece and then just kind of arrange these in no very specific order. It's kind of really rustic, you know. We're grilling out, it's rustic. We got the cherry tomatoes. Now we have our chimichurri. And this I just like to drizzle over the meat. This is wonderful because it's got brightness. Skirt steak is rich. This has the acid, herbaceous, wonderful. A little bit of oil around there. Like to chef it up a little bit. There we have our grilled skirt steak, Prairie Street Prime skirt steak with chimichurri and blistered cherry tomatoes. So let's taste this. All right, I'm going to grab this little piece right here. So tender because we cut it against the grain. It's caramelized, it's herbaceous, it's acidic, it's wonderful. The olive oil brings it together. Prairie Street Prime skirt steak, blistered cherry tomatoes with chimichurri. No better way to spend the afternoon. So, you guys enjoyed this video? Please subscribe, comment, like, hit the notification bell, and we will see you next time.